I'm definitely not hitting them back to back if we're shooting it.
You can save it.
We're shooting them. All right, everybody. As you know, last week we did the Hall of Fame game, and we're now going to do our shots. Ryan and I have one. Brandon's got two, but he's being a little bitch, and he's like, I'm not going to do them back to back.
That's right.
So, I don't know.
All I know is you'd be saying the same shit if it was you.
Hey, I got hair on my chest, so...
Yeah? 2 strands?
Yeah. Fuck you. I'm Asian. I don't get hairy. This weak ass beard that I have, this scruff,
Growing it out for a month.
it's taken me 2 weeks.
Has it really? Or
Yeah. No, I'm being dead serious.
Do you at least clean it up?
I haven't.
You literally have not taken a razor to your face at all.
Nope, not in 2 weeks.
I just told him
That
I
is
was like,
freaking-
I'm gonna shave like an hour before the wedding.
I think your hair grows the fastest, and I'm kind of like the middle, and then yours just doesn't fucking grow.
Not at all. Dude, I'm not hairy at all. Like, it kind of like it's good.
Well, it's
and
because you
bad
got
at
that
the same
Asian
time.
gene.
Yeah. Honestly, my leg hair is like I'm wearing invisible shorts. Like, it starts below my knee. My legs are only hairy below my knee. It's weird.
That is weird.
That is odd.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, alright.
All right, well, let's do these shots.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Who are we dedicating these to? Because we should say it for each person that we forgot, actually. Or that we didn't think was going to get in.
Mine was for John Lynch.
John Lynch?
Wait, I don't remember. I picked an offensive lineman. Steve Hutchinson? Or Steve?
Something like that.
Well, look, John Lynch!
John Lynch!
Lynch. So smooth.
Actually, that was actually not bad.
That's good. You sure you don't want to go back to back?
I could go back to back, but I don't know if I want to waste the whiskey. We'll see.
We got bottles of this shit.
All right, I'll do it back to back just so Dean can't say I was a little bitch.
That's right.
That's right, peer pressure at its best.
All right, let's get into the show. You can drink it while we're recording.
I thought I had to shoot it a second ago.
How long does it take you to shoot it?
Well,
It's like 2.5 seconds.
He's got to open it up.
I still have my cup.
Brand new bottle.
All right, well, let's just get into it anyways.
All right,
Let's do it, boys.
are you guys ready? Let's do this. Let's start the show.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Yeah. Enjoy the show. Lights, camera, action.
What's up, everybody? Three Amigos and a Podcast, episode 36. The weekend of the wedding.
Oh, yeah.
The big day's
Big.
less than 48 hours away.
48
it is,
hours.
man.
We're recording on a Friday today because yesterday was Valentine's Day.
Yep.
I took my multiple Valentines out for dinner.
You sent your mom flowers, too?
my mom flowers.
That's nice,
yeah.
I saw that.
So it was good, I went and saw my mom in the morning because I wasn't going to see her that night. Wished her happy Valentine's Day, and then sent her flowers later. And then I went to work out, and my gym buddy from work, Fadi, saw him, so we had a Valentine's Day workout. That was
Nice.
super
Nice.
romantic.
Speaking of, I'm a 24 member now, so we can go work out whenever we
Nice,
want.
okay.
And then Sarah's sister was in town, and she's single, and her mom's a single mom. So I took the three of them out for dinner.
Pimp,
You know.
big pimping.
That's right. Had different age ranges over there. But yeah, overall it was a good day. How's your guys' Valentine's Day?
I didn't do anything.
Well, Your wedding's coming up, so
Yeah.
it's okay. Plus, it's your sister's
My
birthday,
sister's
so
yeah, Leah's been a little bit under the weather, anyways. But like with the weather yesterday, I was like, I am not driving out there. Sorry. We sent her
yeah.
we got her a Lululemon gift card, so I emailed it to her, and I was like, "Happy birthday!"
That's right. Isn't your sister's birthday?
Yeah, and my
Valentine's?
mom was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, is she gonna come down here?" I was like, "I don't want her to come down here. Like the weather's shit. I don't want to go up there. Like it's fine. Like we'll see her. She's okay with it. We've already established it. It's all good. But she's down at the zoo today with one of her friends. So
There you go.
yeah, it's been good.
What about you, B? You doing anything fun for Valentine's Day?
Just went to the gym by myself. It was a solo. The ladies, she's
Spent the night with Pamela Henderson.
no, the ladies, she's doing like a nail class after work. So see her once a week.
Yeah, she's been
That's
pretty
kinda-
busy.
Yeah, I've been pretty busy, but Yeah, dropped off like a nice little package there
That's
at her
nice.
house.
Whoa.
Yeah, it
this
was-
is not an X-rated podcast.
I got my dick in a box.
Yeah. And yeah, that was. I was gonna make a joke about a pizza box, but
That's good.
no, yeah, it was. We actually celebrated last Saturday. We
Nice.
took her to Shogun.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that place.
I like that
we
place. I haven't
both
been
do.
there in forever.
Dude, that place makes the best fried rice I've ever had.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's like just loaded with garlic butter, but
It's so tasty.
yeah, I love going there. So that was where we took her out to, and
Yeah, that place is bomb. Nice, man.
yeah,
Very
that
nice.
was the weekend.
Well, like we said, Ryan's wedding's 48 hours out. How you feeling, Ryan?
Good, man. Everything's coming out of me in liquid form.
Oh my God.
Just
What?
kidding.
That's so disgusting.
Just kidding. No, it's good. It's exciting. Surreal. That's probably like the best way to
I was
put it.
gonna say, you seem very upbeat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really exciting. It's fun to have everybody in town. Trevor flies in tomorrow morning. Two of Shaylee's best friends flew in last night. One of her other best friends flew in yesterday afternoon. So it's gonna be fun to get everybody together. Actually get things started. Looking forward to it. Nervous, excited, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just funny. Like my mom, you could tell she's been a little emotional past week. Like every time I
Oh
walk
yeah.
through
I mean,
there.
it's a
Yeah.
it's a real
Yeah.
moment for her too. Like her
Yeah.
baby's getting
I
married.
know.
Yeah.
And she's like, Ryan, you're gonna be married. And I was like, yeah. She's like married. It's like, I know.
Like, you're trying to
it's-
freak me out.
It's as real as for you as it is to me.
I know, dude. I keep racking my brain. I'm like, dude, remember that time Ryan and I went and did this? Like, that dude's getting married
Yeah.
now. And I'm like,
No.
fuck.
It's definitely like a How I Met Your Mother moment, you know? Or like when they're doing that whole like flashback scene with
Oh, yeah, definitely.
when Lily and Marshall are having their kid.
Yeah.
Because I was telling Dean yesterday we were out at dinner with a bunch of Shaylee's family, and she's got two of her cousins in town, and they were supposed to be here with their parents, but their parents unfortunately couldn't make it because one of their brother is sick, and so it's just them two in their own hotel room. My dad was like, well, who's going to be supervising them? And I was like, Dad, they're fine. Like, it's not me and Dean. He's like, oh. Yeah. I was like, yeah, we kind of ruined them. But yeah, it's good, man. It's nice to be around everybody. I'm taking it in short bits, though.
Oh yeah, that's the best way to do it. Just moment by moment.
And that's like the biggest thing I've been trying to do. Definitely this past month is like, you know, some of it can get pretty stressful. Luckily, all that's past us now. But you know, if you're trying to think about what's going to happen next, you can't enjoy every single aspect of it. So I'm trying to just take it moment by moment now and just
live
try
in the
to
moment.
enjoy every little bit of it. So I'm excited. We'll all be out at the Welks tomorrow. Got rehearsal in the morning, rehearsal dinner in the evening. It's all coming together.
Yeah, we went and got haircuts today.
Yeah.
I'm feeling fresh.
Feeling
I put my suit on yesterday to see what I looked like, and I look tasty as hell, dude.
Dude, they're nice.
I look good, man.
Those suits are really
I'm
nice.
so pumped too because now I can actually text you guys and be like, "Hey, suit up."
Oh, fuck
Dude,
yeah.
and we'd all match.
Yeah,
Like, literally.
literally. That's funny. Yeah, man, I'm excited though, and I've learned of myself that I'm kind of like other people's like energy of that sense, like how they're feeling. I like absorb that, and I just feel like, dude, all day today after we got our haircuts, I was like excited.
Yeah.
Like I got this like weird kind of like I'm pumped. It's almost
Oh,
as if
definitely.
like I'm about to like play like a big game or something.
Yeah.
I'm like ready to go.
Definitely.
I'm like
No, I'm
so
super
amped
antsy,
right now.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm good to go.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too because everybody keeps asking like, "Oh, are you excited for Hawaii?" I'm like, honestly, I haven't even thought about it.
I was just thinking.
So like, you know, like
Dude,
you-
Hawaii's gonna be like the sigh of relief.
Definitely. Well, but like, you know, at Thanksgiving, everything like kind of leads up to Thanksgiving, and then you have a month between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So it's like you have time to like get your mood back down, and then it's like, all right, now we're gonna do this again in a month.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna get together in a month.
Mhm.
It's like that. Like you're excited about both of them, but there's no turnaround time. So I haven't even been able to get hyped for Hawaii because I've been so hyped for the wedding.
When do you leave for Hawaii?
We leave Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll all
So you like a day to pack and
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, we're already packed and ready to go.
Yeah.
Because like the
That's
thing
right.
is like Shaylee's family and everybody's still here on Monday, and like even Alex was like, I'm gonna be there till Tuesday. I was like, yeah, dude, like the whole day's free. Like we got whatever. It's like we want to like do
And it's
breakfast.
President's Day weekend
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
Well, like, we
Perfect
can,
timing.
We could do whatever. It doesn't matter to me. So it's it'll be fun. I'm really
Yeah,
excited.
man, I'm excited. Well, let's get into it. I wanted to start this podcast off going into baseball first because, spring training is getting going.
Dude, I'm
Pitchers and
amped.
catchers reported. I think everyone else has reported already, too. So
The guys who actually give a shit.
Yeah.
exactly. Everyone that's
Everybody that's getting paid.
that's
for the
gonna
vets.
that's gonna play is reported, or trying to make a spot. Games start next week, so we'll go a little bit more into depth on that. But yeah, man, baseball's getting going. I'm getting excited.
This is a good time to be a Padre fan because you get to see a glimpse of the young guys that we've been talking about for
Yeah.
eternity.
I'm
Yeah.
pumped that Urias is going to be on the opening day roster. I mean,
Same.
mind you, he stays healthy and all that, knock on wood, but
Well, hopefully his back gets going because
I
his
hope he
glove
doesn't-
was there last
I
season.
hope he gets to
but-
play second base personally. But,
Same.
but I don't
mean,
think he will.
I mean, that one to me, like, I think if he ends up playing shortstop, he knows it's just a temporary thing. It would be a little uncomfortable for me if he was our opening day shortstop. I feel like that would kind of mean we lost the offseason a little bit. It all boils down to this.
Well, he'll be opening day shortstop.
Yeah.
more than likely because
More than likely.
you're not going to start Kinsler at short.
No. But the thing is like, you have your winners and losers in every offseason. And you have your big teams, like the Red Sox, the Yankees, Astros, Cubs.
Big market team.
Big market teams that are in the playoffs, Dodgers as well, know that they have the roster to get them into the playoffs. But what's it going to be to put them over the hump? So, like, it's been a pretty slow offseason for everybody. And some people will take that as a loss. For the Padres, it's more of, can we fill every position that we need? And can we utilize our assets to the best of their ability? If we don't have somebody playing shortstop that's not Urias, I think it's a little bit of a loss for them.
Mhm.
The other thing is who's going to be the opening day starter.
At third base.
If it ends up being Lucchesi, pitcher.
Pitcher.
Opening day pitching, like the starter. If it ends up being Lucchesi, I kind of see that as a loss as well. I do like the Garrett Richards signing. That'll be awesome once he's able to come play next year.
Fingers crossed everything goes well.
I mean,
Yeah,
Tommy John,
yeah.
generally, like, my thing is, like, it's definitely going to extend his career longer,
Mhm.
especially, he's not a 21-year-old.
This is his second Tommy John, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still, like, I mean, the science behind it, like, you're replacing.
Oh, it makes sense.
Yeah,
So he's going to have a 100% fresh arm if everything goes well. But I'm a little bit nervous about, who's going to be the opening day starter. Last year, it was a cop-out. We had Richards.
God.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
That just seemed more of like a respect move, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Honestly, in
no,
my
I
opinion,
it was
it was-
definitely
agree.
a cop-out move. It was like,
Yeah.
all right, hey, he's been here before.
I think that it's whoever performs better in spring training, which is one of the reasons why spring training I think will be so exciting this year because there's a lot of positions up for grabs right now. Third base is complete crapshoot right now.
Yeah.
Opening day starter, crapshoot right now.
I'm excited about Mejia though.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what this dude can do because he's had his, he got his cup of coffee last year, but he was also has spent time up with the Indians. I'm excited to see. We've seen his bat. The dude can definitely hit. That's never been in
He didn't
question.
hit well for us though last year.
But I mean,
he had some clutch hits.
he
and he
did,
had
he
some
had a-
big home runs.
yeah. He has the ability to swing the bat, and the dude swings it harder than I've seen anybody.
Yeah, he does. I think a lot of our guys, I think they're pressing a little bit. I don't know about you guys,
Freaking
but
Franchi, man, that dude looks like he's swinging as hard as he can.
all the guys look
Yeah.
like they want to just rip the cover off the ball.
And I think that's why I like Urias so much because that guy can work a count.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
Urias-
He's patient up there,
Dude,
especially
yes.
for a young guy. Like that's so hard
He's
to do.
super
You know
patient.
how we draw so many comparisons to other teams, especially like how the Padres have worked this rebuild. They've done, they compare them to the Kansas City Royals or the Houston Astros.
Dude, look at the
Jose Altuve.
Yeah.
I think obviously that would be if he was even like a shadow of what Altuve turned out to
Yeah.
be, but like a great contact hitting second baseman.
Oh yeah.
That's one of those things. We haven't had a guy who can get on base at a decent clip in
I think that's
years.
That's
Yeah.
the biggest thing that the Padres need because they definitely have some people in that lineup already.
They got boppers, but that's
Yeah.
it. Nobody gets on base.
Yeah, Franmil, you got Myers, you got Renfroe. Like, you got some dudes that can move people around, but we've never had somebody that's been able to consistently get on base. I'm looking for Margot to be somebody like that this year. I think if he can really develop himself into a leadoff hitter, the dude steals bases like none other.
Yeah, he's super quick. So
Yeah, he I think definitely took a step back last
He did,
year.
and that kind of bummed me out. I'm hoping he can push forward this year.
His glove is elite, though. I think he's one of the best fielding center fielders in the game.
Dude's faster than shit, too. I mean,
he makes good reads off the bat and everything, and when he's out there, I feel comfortable with him making the right play.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel confident when Franmil or Franchi's out there.
Oh yeah,
I love their bats, but damn, it's hard watching them in the field.
Franmil definitely. I just hope he can continue what he was doing last year because I felt like he might have played a little over his head. But just the on base, the batting average, and the power numbers were there.
I think that with it's going to be a definite battle between Renfroe and Franmil because both their games are similar on the offensive side, whereas Renfroe definitely has the better arm in the outfield and better fielder. But I mean, the pace that Franmil was on towards the end of the year last year, that dude was ripping the cover off.
He led the
ball.
team in batting average.
Yeah,
by like a lot.
Yeah,
I think this year will be interesting to see how Andy Green can manage the roster because I think there's a lot of potential out there. And the past few seasons, it's kind of been like a cop out for him in the sense of just go up there and see if you can get on base.
It's an audition year for him for sure.
Yeah, it's not so much of like let's move pieces. It's like just get out there and hit the ball.
Audition for Andy Green or Franmil?
No, for Andy Green.
I think Andy Green.
Yeah, I think because at this point, throughout the year, we're gonna get some of our big names up in the league. You know,
Tatis will play come like April. I think.
I think the one that we're all certain is not playing this year is Gore. But outside of that, everybody else is going to be getting some time.
The guy who I'm excited is Chris Paddock. I think
Chris Paddock.
He's going to get
definitely
all these guys. Though the thing is, that first month, just so they gain that extra year of eligibility on the roster, so that extra year of control, they're going to wait an entire month.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So,
and we talked about that a little bit last week.
There's no way Tatis is on that opening day roster.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And if they did, I would be pretty disappointed. It'd be bittersweet, but
yeah,
you know.
I mean, I would be excited to see him out there. But
exactly.
From a financial standpoint, it's like I will say, in a sense, you know, in the world where we don't sign Harper or Machado, I can see them actually putting Tatis in that opening day lineup if he plays well in spring training.
Like a consolation prize.
Yeah,
he played well in spring training last year.
He played phenomenal.
Yeah,
and the dude destroyed it in the Dominican League this season.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, speaking of Machado and Harper, you know, the Padres had their second meeting with Machado. We talked about it a little bit beforehand, how he met with not only his agent and him, but his wife as well, which is a huge thing to meet with like the family and seeing if it's a good fit for all that. That's a pretty spectacular thing to do. For Harper, though, I mean, I feel like the sweepstakes for Harper has been kind of silent as of late. Who do you think's the big team that's gonna sign him? I know the Giants were kind of the front runners.
The Giants don't make sense to me though. They really don't have the money for him.
And to me, I think timeline wise, it just seems like they don't know whether they want to contend or rebuild. It seems like, in my opinion, like last year they signed all these veteran guys who were
on the
downswing of their careers, and it didn't work out for them. And all it did was just push your rebuild back another year.
Yeah,
and they've done that again this year with signing Solarte.
Solarte's a good stopgap in my opinion,
but he's still like towards his back end. He's he's not
really.
He's
still pretty young.
God damn it! Right now, I'd take Solarte back for third base.
Oh yeah, we need something. He would have been an upgrade over Chase Headley with the Padres had last year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm as far as you know the sweepstakes for both these players, it's looking to me the Phillies I don't think have a shot in hell at Harper because he doesn't want to play there.
They also signed a bunch of guys recently too.
I mean, they gave Nola his big
I feel like once you start
arbitration deal.
I feel like once you start spending money on players, you're kind of like, okay, well, we gave up on you because you took too long to decide on the offer that we gave you, and I'm not going to, hinge my entire off season on you signing with us.
The thing is that I could definitely see Harper signing with the Giants, and the Giants will, they'll be above the luxury tax at that point. But it's a win for the Padres if the Giants sign him. I think it's huge because that takes the Giants out of contention, in my opinion, for years to come. Because now you're handcuffed to the Bumgarner contract and you're handcuffed to the Harper deal. And that just limits you on the deals that you can make during the offseason.
The only thing with the Giants is I'm tired of seeing it on ESPN that he's the perfect fit. Harper's the perfect fit for the Giants. I don't think he is. Just because, for reasons like you said, of Are they contending? Are they not? Are they rebuilding?
I think it makes sense for the market. It doesn't make sense for the current roster.
Mhm.
The market definitely wants a player like Bryce Harper in the Bay Area, a team that's won World Series consecutively. And when they weren't winning World Series, they had Barry Bonds. So the market makes sense for him. The current status of the organization, I don't see it happening. It sucks to say this like out loud, but honestly, the only one that makes sense for either of these players is the Padres.
It really, yeah.
And Yankees, I would throw them in there.
Yeah,
too.
and the Yankees, but the
Yankees on a short term.
yeah,
I think. I don't think Harper makes sense for the Yankees.
I think, well, no, maybe not Harper, because they would have to unload Stanton somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you look at it from a
Machado for sure.
you're gonna get
Machado
a
for sure.
extreme. I'm not saying both of them by any means either. Not both of them to the Padres.
Yeah.
But for
Oh,
either one
God.
of these guys.
Could you imagine?
But I mean, I
would
need to
believe
make sure that I made that part clear because one of these dudes could get an extremely lucrative contract. I think with Machado, he just doesn't want to be on the West Coast. You know, lives in Miami, wants to be somewhere closer to home. Totally makes sense. But I'm sure his agent's telling him this makes the most sense for you right now. So that's a hard pill to swallow. With Harper, he likes the West Coast. It's closer to home for him. It's not as big of a need for the Padres. So both of these guys, I think that they're top. You know, it makes the most sense for them to sign with the Padres. Which, being a Padre fan, I feel like it sounds a little bit counterproductive, biased, but it's true. They have the money to spend. They have an up and coming team. They don't have to pay anybody for a really long time, and you get to be the face of an up and coming team. That's huge right there alone.
Yeah, I think the difference between Harper and Machado is Machado wants to stay in the American League for the DH position specifically. He knows that extends his career a little bit, where I feel like Harper is more of a gamer and he wants to be out there.
But in my opinion, though, by the time his contract is up, because he's probably going to get an 8 to 10 year deal, the DH will be in the National League at that time.
Yeah, I think both of them were kind of understanding that. I think, the biggest, and I was just saying this to you guys before we started the podcast, I think that the biggest thing slowing both of these guys down is each other. Mm-hmm. I think both of them are waiting it out because they don't want to be the first person to sign. They don't want to be the first person to say, I'm, taking this deal, so this guy's going to make more money. And Scott Boras is the agent, and he knows that as well. So he's trying to maximize the deal of the first player so that when the second person signs and they're asking for more money,
Well, this is the beauty about them meeting a second time, was I felt like the first time it might have just been some leverage for Scott Boras because he's built that relationship with the Padres.
Definitely.
To leverage his, his
other clients.
His clients, make sure that they're getting a good deal.
Yeah.
And at the same time, he knows that Ron Fowler, the Padres owner, is getting a lot of heat lately for not spending money. And, the fan base... Let's face it, man. We deserve a winner every once in a while, man.
Yeah.
And we've waited a long time for a good team. We've had one winning season in the last decade.
Yep.
It just, at some point, you just wish that we could just put together a winner. And
I agree.
And they actually, I was looking at some of the financials for the team. It's just kind of like, if we were to sign Machado and either Machado or Harper, we would still be in line with kind of what, we would consider it'd be a higher payroll year for us, but it would certainly be below the league average still. Like if you're signing those guys to a $30 million deal for the next 8 to 10 years,
I think that the Padres want Machado, and I think
for sure
the
they do.
consolation prize is Harper,
or they could be trying to, in my opinion, I think they could be talking to Harper on an exploratory base to kind of let Machado know that, hey, we're interested in you, but at some point we could just change gears and go to a different player like Harper.
Yeah. Or even so, we're actually willing to spend this money on you. It's not just we're giving you these numbers.
We're willing to spend this money.
Exactly. Yeah.
If it's not on you, it's on somebody else.
Exactly.
And I think that's the biggest part that makes the Padres real players in this offseason. Which is turning into be not the off season anymore. It's the season.
It's go time.
Yeah. So it's slow. I think that both of these guys sign within the next week, though.
Yeah. Like you said, there were some other signings. The Phillies and Aaron Nola signed their arbitration deal, a 4-year, $45 million. Solarte on that 1 year, and Severino 4 years, $40 million guaranteed with the Yankees. But like we were saying, with the Padres potentially signing one of these guys, or if not, who's going to be starting opening day, all that stuff. What is the one thing you want to see from the Padres this year as a whole?
I mean, to me, it's one word, and it's improvement. Like, we're not looking for a playoff team yet. We took a huge step back last year. They need to take a huge step forward this year.
So for it to be an improvement, what's the total wins at the end of the season? 500 ball club, 74 wins. What are you thinking? What's the threshold for an improvement?
I think it has to be. I think it has to be at least a 500 ball club.
Yeah,
Well,
it's hard because I don't know if that's probable at this moment. But I think this is going to boil down to how we're managing our roster. So that's going to be solely on the shoulders of Andy Green, because the roster that he has right now could be a 500 ball club. They're not great. They have potential, and they're young guys. Maybe this is a year a lot of them take a big leap forward. We don't know that, but it has to be an improvement, and it has to be, maybe we're winning a lot of games 3-1. Maybe we're learning how to manufacture runs. But to me, like, the improvement, like I said, and maybe we start off the season, 15-15, and then the next month we go 16-14. There needs to be improvements throughout the year.
No, and I know last year I was looking for improvement, and I think we definitely took a step back from a win-loss perspective. But I also felt like, from the personnel standpoint, most of our players took a step back last year. There was guys, Eric Hosmer did not pan out well. Will Myers did not play well for us last year. Some of the young guys, outside of Lucchesi and maybe Eric Lauer, are starting, like, our pitching wasn't that great either.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, I look at this season as more of a, basically a spring training for an entire season, where like the win-loss to me doesn't matter as much as the performance of the players that we see as long-term assets for the team.
Definitely. I agree 100%. I think if at the end of the year we're looking at a team that's sub 500, but you see good performances out of Lauer and Lucchesi, if Paddock gets his call up, if we're seeing Urias, hitting around 260, 270, but improving, I think the statistics that you really need to look at are, how are we playing with runners in scoring position? Are we closing out games? Are we giving up leads at the end of games? Those are the things we want to see. Mm-hmm. If we're losing games, 7-3, our pitching's not there. And that's something that we can get past. Like, that's something that's going to improve.
Because they'd all be young guys.
Yes.
But if we're going out there and we're losing games 2-1, we're not manufacturing runs. Like, that's not an improvement. So those are the statistics that I'll be looking at throughout the year is, like I said, how are they hitting with runners in scoring position? How are they doing when they're playing with a lead? How are they, coming back? Are they bunting the ball well? Are they, hitting runs? How are our steals? Things like that. Because in a couple years, those are the things that are going to push us forward.
I might change my opinion if we lock up one of those big boys. So if we lock up a Machado or a Harper,
playoffs.
No, well, I don't know about playoffs. But like you said, a 500 ball club is what I would be at least looking for. Yeah. Just because I don't think any of our pitching is going to come up till like halfway through the season, and at that point we'll probably be out of it already.
The only thing that ticks me off is, like, the Rockies were in a similar situation last year with their pitching, and all their dudes showed up.
Yeah.
So it's like, what if we just miraculously get all of our players to,
all our pitchers? Beautiful.
Yeah,
that'd be incredible.
The only difference is we don't have freaking Nolan Arenado.
Every year, well, we'd have
not yet.
We'd have somebody almost as good, in my opinion. He's probably. He'd be my runner-up for best third baseman in the game, but
Machado?
Yeah.
Oh.
Even though most people think Machado's better, which
Machado's a little bitch though.
But I
like Nolan Arenado. I wouldn't argue that at all. I would say Nolan Arenado over Manny Machado. But Nolan Arenado runs out fly balls.
Yeah.
Dude, Nolan Arenado's a freaking animal on the field.
The one thing
I love that dude.
The one thing I want to see this year from the Padres is managing Will Myers properly.
That too,
like
man.
Last year,
keeping his mouth shut on freaking
just consistency
on Fortnite or whatever.
Stupid ass.
But yeah, no, just like consistency, like you're saying, like either keep him in the outfield, play him, get him at bats, or
Will Myers needs to hit 30 home runs this year.
Yeah, it's like just don't move him around so much,
and then get his batting average close to 300 or something.
Yeah. I would say if he's not hitting 30 home runs, he needs to be hitting about 285.
Well, his power numbers aren't that bad. It's his batting average and on base that's killing me.
He strikes out all the time.
I'm like, dude, you can't be the meat and potatoes of our lineup and hitting like 25 home runs and then batting 220 or something.
Right? He talks like a 70-year-old man.
I know. But I don't know. That's just the one thing I want to see. I want to see Will Myers managed properly. I'm not worried about Hosmer. I think he's been there before. He can turn it around and improve. And
he has a full offseason.
I'm not too worried about Hosmer. I feel like he's going to get his shit together. It just pissed me off
that he played like shit last year.
Yeah, in a year he got a fat contract, but I feel like he's
worth the money.
He'll rebound.
The Will Myers thing just bugged me. How they were like, "Oh, we're playing him at third now," and I was like, "What the fuck is this, guys?" Like, I understand. Like, I understand you got to find a home for him somewhere.
To me, it was wishful thinking. I was like, "Hey, if he can play third, we're good." Like,
how hard is it to play? How hard is it to play first base? Extremely hard.
That's exactly what I thought of. When we pulled him over there, I was thinking Billy Bean from Moneyball. Where he's like, "Oh, how hard is it to play first base?" Extremely hard.
All right, we'll get him over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It'll be a fun season to watch, though. That's for sure. I mean, I love baseball, so I can't wait for it to start. Let's switch gears over to the NFL. I know usually this is a quiet time for the NFL, but a lot of stuff happened. I mean, you had Antonio Brown. He wants out, like tweeting goodbye and all this stuff, and he still hasn't even been traded yet or talks. I mean,
can I just say this? The dude is 30 years old.
Yeah.
And you see a decline in receivers once they turn 30.
Yep.
So he wants out. He's still under contract. And now the Steelers have to trade him. And they're going to want a first-round pick. If I'm any team in the NFL that is not the New England Patriots, there's no way in hell I'm trading a first-round pick for this guy.
Yeah.
No way.
Well, I hate when the players do this. They're showing zero loyalty to their team, which is, if you want to get traded, that's fine. But don't leak this to the media and kill all leverage from your
not just the media, plus on your social media.
Yeah, your social media being personal. Like goodbye, like that. Like you literally posted something as if you've been traded.
But remember, he went to a barbershop. No,
yeah, I know, right?
No, but I mean, I honestly, I just feel bad for the Steelers in this situation because they're losing out. That Le'Veon Bell deal obviously is over. He's not going back there. And then Antonio Brown, it's like he's costing the Steelers money for wanting out. Like they're going to have to pay a penalty for it.
I think that as much as Antonio Brown is a diva, all of this is on the Steelers because
they've mismanaged that team.
They have totally. The personnel. You put all your money in, not just money. I'm not saying like your dollars, but you put all your loyalty in Ben Roethlisberger.
And was not showed it at all. I heard that guy's a huge dick. Like people on the street see him and he tells them to fuck off.
Yeah, dude, like he's an ass. And he was the one that was talking shit about Antonio Brown all year last year, like on the radio. He didn't have anything nice to say about Le'Veon Bell. And it's like, great. So now you have Juju Smith-Schuster, who's a good receiver because he's a good receiver. I'm not saying he's not. But he lines up opposite of Antonio Brown.
That makes you better.
Anybody that lines up opposite of an elite receiver in this game is going to produce. You see it with Will Fuller. You see it with Tyrell Williams. You see it, back in the day, we had Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison on the same team.
Even when Keenan Allen was starting out, he was lining up in the slot.
Yeah.
Obviously, he wasn't a opposite of a number one wide receiver, but still,
it's lined up on the best corner.
Look at Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen.
Thielen just killing it
last year because Stephon Diggs was getting double teamed the whole time.
And then they switched it up and Stephon Diggs was killing it.
Yeah.
So you need two. I mean, in this day and age, in this NFL, you need two, not elite wide receivers. If we're looking at Madden ratings, you need two 85 pluses.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the way I put it. If you have, and it needs to average out to 85. So if you have a 90, you need an 80.
Yeah.
That's how the NFL works nowadays. And
yeah, I agree. I think that's
every team has pretty much a shutdown corner now, or at least on the doorstep of that.
Yep. Yeah. And if they don't have a shutdown corner, then they're double teaming you the entire game. Yep. They're putting a safety on top of you every single time. So, to me, the Steelers just mismanaged the entire organization.
Unless you're Calvin Johnson, you just go up and just take it over the
fucking Randy Moss. I sent you guys that video.
Dude, that video was amazing.
Dope.
Dude, I liked how they kept switching between Dante Culpepper and Tom Brady.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, Dante Culpepper.
Yeah, I was like,
I forgot about him.
Yeah. Man, he used to be good. Oh, that's right. He used to throw the ball to Randy Moss.
That's why. Oh man! Well, other big things that happened. The Browns signed Kareem Hunt. This one didn't make sense, I know, to any of us.
Yeah, we're kind of, I think, all in the same thought process.
On two accounts here. One, the dude is looking at a suspension, and number two, you have
Nick Chubb, who's been a stud.
So at my work, he's not my boss, but he runs our facility, and he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, so do you see the Browns signed Kareem Hunt?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't think it makes any sense to me." He goes, "Oh, I thought the Bears were looking for a new kicker."
What?
Because he kicked that girl, in the video.
Oh god!
And I was like, "Oh, dude, that's terrible."
That went over my head. I was like, "What the hell? This guy doesn't know anything about football, does he?"
No, I was like, "Oh, dude, that's so bad. That's that's a low blow."
That's great.
But yeah, I don't think this makes any sense. Just because Nick Chubb had an amazing season towards the
he's young. He
started off a little slow, but once they gave him the ball, they got rid of who was their running back beforehand?
Carlos Hyde.
Yeah, Carlos Hyde. Once I got rid of him and he stepped up, let me know.
Dude, well, the thing for me that bugged me more than anything, more than the personnel, is the Browns already have too many distractions as it is.
Yeah.
Why are you bringing that into your locker room?
And that's what I mean. He's still under investigation.
Yeah, you're like, this guy's a high-profile player right now. He's the limelight of the league right now, and I don't know. It just seems like, to me, it's like you don't need more distractions in a locker room, especially when you have two abled running backs on your roster already.
Honestly, though, I seriously think that the Chiefs are using this as trade bait. Or not the Chiefs.
The Browns.
The Browns are using this as trade bait.
The Browns don't make sense.
They're going to trade Nick
Kareem
Chubb?
Kareem Hunt.
I think they're going to trade Kareem Hunt.
Sign a guy and trade him like
No,
that.
not right now. It's going to be
You could hold him for a little bit.
It's going to be a
then.
deadline trade asset.
It's market.
I mean, honestly,
episode 36, minute 36. Ryan saying, "No,
you need this dude to average 4 yards a carry, and then at the trade deadline, there's going to be a team out there that's like, shit,
we need a running
we
back.
need a running back that can run 4 yards a carry. Oh, guess I got to go get Kareem Hunt." And that's honestly, if that's what the Browns are doing, good for you.
I don't know, the Browns.
That's your hoping.
Yeah, that's my hope.
I brought it up before how the whole loyalty to Josh Gordon thing, and obviously there's other factors that go on behind that.
Between alcoholism and
No, I get that, but I'm just saying, being that
dipshit.
organization that feels like you have to coddle these people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't get it because I don't think Kareem Hunt served his term yet. I think it needs to sit out at least a season.
It did seem like it was really soon too.
Yeah. It's still fresh.
I don't think
It's still too fresh.
I don't think he had any other suitors too. So it seemed like they could have at least waited.
The team that I wanted to go after him was the Dallas Cowboys, because that is a team that needs to give Zeke some rest, because that's their workhorse.
Yeah, they freaking run him like a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And
they give him to him out of the backfield.
Better off of having another running. I mean, and Zeke's the first person to be like, "Hey, get me out. I need to take a rest."
I need a reason.
Zeke is one of the smartest players, or running backs, I should say, in the NFL, because he doesn't. I mean, he understands when he's not hot, and he understands when he needs a rest. I mean, he runs the ball a ton.
I think this year he's my favorite running back in the league right now.
Dude, I don't know.
He's the best
Saquon's starting to become my new favorite. I think that kid's got a huge future. In a couple years, I could see him being like.
I think.
Oh yeah.
I honestly,
I wouldn't disagree on that.
Gurley's great. You can't sleep on
Gurley's
Gurley.
great. Yeah, you can't.
But I do think that Ezekiel Elliott and Saquon Barkley are the two best natural running backs in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can't sleep on Gurley, but I think those two are by far the best running backs in the NFL.
Yeah. And then, earlier this week we had the Ravens in Denver talking. They're going to trade Joe Flacco for a 4th-round pick.
Yeah, dude. Joe
this
Flacco
one
lost his job to a running back.
Dude, this one was weird for me. I mean, I definitely think that Lamar Jackson, if you give him a full season, is going to be the better quarterback. But it doesn't make sense for me for Denver in the sense of Case Keenum and Joe Flacco's numbers are almost identical.
Oh, yeah, dude. No.
So it's not like you're really getting a huge upgrade. Obviously, you're not giving up a whole lot in a 4th round, which I feel like that's disrespectful to Joe Flacco. But
let the football guru explain this one to you guys too here, because
all right, give it to us.
So
Madden Jr.
This is the Broncos are panicking. So if we step back for a second, we look at what the Broncos did. They had Tim Tebow on their team. They go out, they sign Peyton Manning. They draft Brock Osweiler, who ultimately ended up signing with Houston. So they draft Paxton Lynch.
Yeah.
Paxton Lynch was a huge bust. Last year, they missed out on an opportunity to draft a quarterback, and they went with Bradley Chubb.
Oh, yeah, Brick Chubb. Brick Chubb.
Brick Chubb.
Bradley Chubb.
Good pick, but not a quarterback. So they've missed out on a lot of opportunities to draft quarterbacks.
Seems like Elway just doesn't have the touch for the quarterback.
Exactly. So
Timeout.
what's up?
I'm on.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, keep talking.
Okay.
Then I come back here. Lock me out.
Well, I certainly think he's a great talent evaluator for like defensive ends, but he cannot evaluate a quarterback to save his life.
And so that's what it ends up boiling down to. They go out last year, they signed Case Keenum, and now they're in a situation. Case Keenum didn't work. They have an elite defense. And they're like, hey, we need something.
Mm-hmm.
And can you name any top quarterback coming out in this NFL draft?
No. Dwayne Haskins, but
And that's a coin flip.
Yeah, that's a
Kyler
reach.
Murray, he's 5'11".
Yeah.
I mean,
there's not a whole lot, but I will say that John Elway seems like he might be on the hot seat a little bit because he's making so many moves in the sense of trying to find
he's
a quarterback.
Well,
he's panicking.
I do think their window's closing. I feel like their defense is getting up there in age, and this is the time to strike for them. So I don't like totally see this as like
It's
the
not a
worst.
bad move.
It's not the worst trade, but at the same time, like
Yeah.
you said, I don't think it really moves the needle enough to like.
Exactly, and I think the
Catapult
only
them.
benefit to Joe Flacco starting for you over Case Keenum, accuracy, and he's been there before. He was
And
the
he's
Super
won
Bowl
it,
MVP, so you have that in your locker room now.
Dude, my thing, aside from that, Teddy Bridgewater.
I mean, dude, I'm a big
That's
Teddy
true.
fan.
I'm a huge Teddy fan. Yeah.
He's a first-round quarterback.
He's not really
younger.
getting an opportunity right now.
He's got a new knee.
Yeah.
He's got a new knee.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, there's a lot of other options out there. And I also feel bad for Joe Flacco being, a Super Bowl MVP. You're only worth a 4th-round pick.
Well, his contract's
Like
not
a
that great,
mid-round
but I
4th-round
do
pick.
think I think the Ravens are eating like 16 million of it or something like that, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Which
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure how that works out in NFL cap where you're eating salary on it, but yeah.
Yeah, and then the other big move that happened in the NFL, Ryan, like you said, there's not a lot of quarterbacks in this draft, but Kyler Murray decided that he's going to go into the NFL draft. We talked about how, that's him essentially saying, I know I'm going to go in the first round. So, I mean, I don't think he's worth a first-round pick. I don't think he's,
I mean, he's definitely worth a first-round pick. You can't look at it as a first overall, though. I mean, there's 32 picks in the first round of an NFL draft.
Yeah.
I think that he's benefiting off of Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield was a very similar quarterback. They both came out of the same school, the same system, and Baker Mayfield performed.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Murray has an opportunity now to, withdraw his MLB acceptance. Because he was number 7 overall pick from the A's to be a number 1 overall pick in the NFL. From a career standpoint, you have to look at what MLB players go through. I've had lots of friends that have been drafted in baseball, and the money's never guaranteed. You get a 1-year contract, and
you start at the bottom.
You start at the bottom, and you have to work your way up.
Yeah.
If you're even a 7th-round pick in football, your guaranteed contract is through 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
They can release you, but they still have to pay half your contract. So, I mean, to me, this is an employer saying, Dean, we're going to bring you on for a year and then we'll reevaluate next year. Or somebody saying, hey, this isn't the job you necessarily want, but we're going to pay you for 4 years. And then if we fire you, you still get paid.
You still have the option to go.
To me, it's not even an option. And it's not necessarily the players like making a choice here. This is the financial stability of a Major League Baseball player in the organization versus the financial stability in the NFL. Because the NFL knows it's a risky game, and you got to pay people a lot more to get them out there. So he still has an opportunity to play baseball, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think that there's anything behind the Cardinals' new head coach, Cliff Kingsbury or whatever, saying that he would draft him number 1 overall and give him the
They
option?
ain't touching him. He
God,
can't. And he doesn't have the decision.
Yeah, and that just to me it seems like that would just be a huge mistake for the Cardinals.
they already drafted
you
a
can't,
quarterback.
You can't
Yeah.
take quarterbacks in back-to-back years, especially.
Talk about panicking.
Unless you try to move Rosen somehow.
But even then, you'd be getting pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
It's like it's
Yep.
not really worth it to me.
No, I agree, and I think it's stupid that he even
and you'd
came
be
out and
eating
said that
so
originally.
much money.
I thought that
Yeah.
was really stupid too, and especially it's a first-year coach for him too.
Yeah.
But we all thought that wasn't necessarily the best signing in general.
Yeah.
Bringing him in for the Cardinals, but especially after their previous head coach didn't really get the proper. He didn't even get a full season, really.
Yeah, that's very true. I know I didn't put it on the notes, but I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on this a little bit. Did you guys hear that the NFL was in talks with Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner,
I
to be
saw
the new
that.
commissioner of the NFL?
Dude, Adam Silver, in my opinion, is the best commissioner of the four major sports, or at least the
He's
three
the
that
most.
I follow.
He's the most liked too.
Dude, he is the most open-minded commissioner, and I feel like he at least addresses what the fans want.
Well, it's because he's an alien too.
He does look like an alien.
Definitely looks
certainly.
like an alien, but
But he's
Yeah, I saw him on Men in Black.
well. We saw it with Roger Goodell. It took him like almost an entire week to get back over that like debacle in the NFC Championship game.
yeah,
Adam Silver would have come out the next day and commented
So I
on
was
it.
just gonna say, players do not respect Roger Goodell. They don't like him,
and
Yeah,
fans
no-
are starting to lose patience with him too.
and players love Adam Silver.
Yep.
Like he has so much respect in the
Oh,
NBA,
yeah.
and he looks at everything from a. I mean, you obviously being in that position, it's business. You have to think about the dollar all the time, and he does. But he doesn't just think about his dollar and the dollars in the NBA. He thinks about the dollars in the NBA players' pockets. I mean, you look at these contracts that these players are signing in the NBA. A 1 year deal.
For like 30, almost
Yeah.
35.
Can you
almost
name
40.
any, like, you're watching Bryce Harper and Manny Machado right now because there's a couple deals out there that are short term and they're like, no way. I'm not taking short term money from these guys. No
Yeah.
way. I need long term. In the NBA, they're like, yeah, I'm going to get paid regardless. So
I'll take
I'll take it short right now because we're going to get paid more next year.
Well, and he's actually even expanded a little bit. Now they got the Supermax for 5 years, so
And
it's
that's
like
the thing. Is he's giving more an incentive to not just players but fans. Like, hey, I'm
And
telling
loyalty.
you, if you stick with your team, you can sign a super max deal.
like we'll give you more money if you stay with your team.
And it's not going to hurt your franchise. You're not going to you're not going to hurt their cap space at all.
Yeah.
You're not going to hurt, their bottom line. But if you stay there, you can make more money. You can choose to go, but you're going to
That's
take
the
a
way
little
it
bit
should
less.
be, though.
And that's what I mean. Like, he's earned the respect of it. Roger Goodell sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
He's
mean,
the worst.
I don't think Adam Silver's going to take the deal, but I
No.
definitely
No,
I
he already
definitely
said he
like-
wouldn't.
I definitely
It's-
like that the NFL is entertaining the idea of we need a guy that is so heavily liked on the player side as well as
Just the fact that they're
fans.
even asking him that just shows you how well he's liked and how little Goodell is liked.
Yeah.
Honestly, you don't own the NFL. You're the commissioner. So
You just
you oversee
run it.
all operations. And Roger Goodell has proved over and over again that
They mismanage, I feel like, every single
Yeah.
thing that happens in the league.
Especially as of late.
player
Yeah.
safety, that literally went out the window after week 3.
Yeah.
Fans started complaining.
Yeah.
Defensive ends and all these guys
It just
started
seems like-
complaining.
It just
and-
seems like he's just going on a whim on all these decisions that he's making.
dude, it's ridiculous.
Like, does he have
He's just
advisors
doing
that he...
he's doing everything that he thinks that he can to be liked. Like, how do I get this person to like me? How do I get this person to like me? Like, I get it, you can't please everyone right now, but start pleasing a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
Start somewhere.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick.
At least get the players to like you.
like
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Get one
that's the
one
biggest,
aspect of the game to like you. Coaches, the players, the front office, or the fans.
and
Get
that's
one
the
of them.
biggest thing is like speaking of Colin Kaepernick. Players like him,
Yeah.
and you're fucking him over.
Keep either in my opinion, keep the players, the owners, and the fans. It's between those three, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And
I
you
need
know,
a new one.
the fans, I feel like the fans will be satisfied as long as their fantasy is still alive. Like,
And that's what
it's
I mean,
all
and-
fantasy football literally fuels football right now.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like Roger Goodell is trying to, make it so fantasy football is prevalent in the league. Like, not in the sense of, player safety. He wanted that first, last season, like Ryan is saying. But that doesn't lead to good fantasy numbers. So that makes, fans unhappy. So he's like, oh, well, let's get rid of that. Let's try to make fans happy now. And we'll just get everything to be offensive centric. And then that
I know
doesn't
all
make
of us
players
here,
happy.
all of us here in San Diego, we're pretty bitter about how they allowed Dean Spanos to just pick up the Chargers and just take them to LA.
Definitely.
After they'd spent, a good amount of time here in San Diego.
So like that's a perfect example. So you look at how Roger Goodell is basically run by the owners.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at how Adam Silver handled the LA Clippers situation.
Mm-hmm.
That alone right there shows you what kind of men we're looking at.
You're like, all right, this guy realizes that his owner, the Clippers owner, Donald Sterling at the time, is a piece of shit, and that he doesn't deserve to own this team. We're going to force him to sell his team because we don't believe that he's
he's a good fit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're on NBA. Let's just keep going into the NBA. It's the All-Star break this week. So is there any All-Star game that you guys are a fan of? I know we've talked about it before. How that's true, baseball.
Just baseball.
Even
baseball, it's
like,
starting to get a little bit of. We don't want to try that
Baseball
hard.
has home run derby though,
And that's what.
Well, are you talking about the skills games, or are we just talking about the game itself, or are we talking about the whole event together?
I'm talking about the game itself.
No, I honestly think that they need to do away with them. It's to give players a break, and I think that the skill competition is important. But the game itself, but I'll watch the All-Star game.
See, I won't watch the NBA All-Star. I don't really watch NBA.
MLB.
MLB, yeah, I'll watch the game.
I'll watch that. None of the other ones I don't waste my time.
They're all like,
even the dunk competition. It's like after a couple people jumped over cars, it's like,
yeah,
okay, now it all looks the same.
I like the 3-point contest, and the skills contest is kind of cool, but
but it's not as exciting as home run derby.
Zach LaVine, once he did it, I was like, dude, no one's gonna that guy's a fucking animal.
LaVine fucking robbed big time Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon deserved to win that one.
Well, that was like the most that
was a really good dunk
most
contest.
Entertaining dunk contest, and it hasn't been like that since.
That was like what, 3 years ago though? 2 years ago,
something like that. Yeah.
Last year's was Donovan Mitchell won it. A lot of it's these guys just giving tribute to like the guy like Vince Carter.
Yeah, that was what it was last year. What was his name?
And then Larry Nance kind of did a tribute to his dad.
It's a show. It's not. It's a show. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Well, they have celebrities on the panel giving the score, and you're like, these aren't even like real NBA guys who they're like. Yeah. It's like Mark Wahlberg and stuff.
Celebrity games were fun.
The celebrity game's going on today.
It's good to give them a break. I thought the other big news in the NBA was the Pelicans GM got canned.
Dell Demps, yeah.
I mean, he definitely deserved to get fired after the way he handled the Lakers situation.
So,
but
do you think it's anything's weird, or do you think this is good or bad for basketball that Adam Silver, like you're talking about, said that the Pelicans have to play Anthony Davis now? Because beforehand they were saying they were just going to shut him down for the season, but now they have to play him.
I think that it's another respect to Adam Silver because he's not going to re-sign with you. He wants out. Sure, you can sit him. He's not going to lose any value. He's, 23, 24 years old?
Mm-hmm.
He's still going to be playing basketball for the next decade.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crappy for an organization to sit there and say, we're going to sit our best player because we know he has value. We just don't want him to get hurt.
Do you think that factored in at all, that firing?
To me, I feel like this is all about not setting a double standard. So, like, in years past... Like, I know, like, with LeBron and the Cavs, LeBron would rest a game, and Kyrie Irving would sit, and so would Kevin Love, and they would just punt the game and get the loss so that their superstars were rested, and they would do that during a, primetime game.
Yep.
And you're not, it just, to me, it seems like you got to keep the fans happy.
Well, the fans are who write your paychecks.
And so, essentially, these teams were just giving up on games that fans were normally going to be showing out to. Just think about it. If you are a huge LeBron fan and you spend, because every game LeBron goes to, those tickets are insanely expensive.
Think about this too. If you're a huge LeBron fan and he's playing with the Cleveland Cavaliers and he's out here playing in Los Angeles, and you spend the money on those tickets.
Well, that's what I'm.
Yeah,
That's what I was literally.
I was trying to make sure we add that point.
No,
to
that's
it
what
too.
I was literally about to say.
It's not a home game that you're going to.
No,
Yeah.
so
away game.
exactly. So like like last year, like if you were a Lakers fan and you're a LeBron fan as well, and you're living in LA, you're gonna spend $300 on your ticket to go see LeBron,
to go watch LeBron play
because you love seeing LeBron or whatever. So
and then he sits.
and
Yeah.
you're like, wow, that really sucked.
Yeah.
I spent all this money and he didn't even play. And that was the problem. And so now if they do this for Anthony Davis, you're just kind of like I said, you're setting a double standard. And I felt like that's kind of the main
Pelicans can't sell
takeaway.
tickets.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, and the Pelicans, man, I
So,
feel bad
yeah.
for them, man, because they just seem like they're dealt a shit hand, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just like you went all in to get Boogie Cousins, and
And it didn't work.
it just really didn't work.
Backfired.
Big time, and only because of an injury, though.
Yeah.
Like, because last year I felt like they could have at least taken the Warriors some distance because they had the two bigs between Cousins and Anthony Davis.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
Boogie got hurt.
And Boogie got hurt, and it's just one guy out there against a bunch of superstars, and just
Well, before we get to our stat of the day, I just want to, NBA's wrapping up, or after the All-Star break, to kind of get into the push for the playoffs. What are the big teams looking to make that push? Who are we looking at that's like they're going to be contenders, they're in it for sure, they're out, they're on the border?
I think it's hard to say because the East is such a freaking coin flip with how crappy the teams are out there. And then the other three that you look at are the Sacramento Kings, LA Clippers, and Los Angeles Lakers.
it's just a three team. I wouldn't totally count the Timberwolves out. Timberwolves are making a little surge lately. They just beat the Clippers. They just beat the Houston Rockets. And it
I
just
also
seems
think
like
the Clippers are going to start to decline a little bit with the loss of
Tobias.
Not a huge step back, but I don't see them maintaining 500 basketball. Or I can see them maintaining.
They're going to be
500,
500, but they won't go above
Yeah.
it for the rest of the year.
The big team to look out for is the Lakers because they got to get hot. They got to start.
They
winning,
have
like,
to.
I
They're
mean,
like 3 games
they
back
got to
right
win
now.
5 games in a row right now. Like they really do.
Yeah.
They got to find some.
And they
strength.
both have tough schedules going up. I mean, going the rest of the
they
way.
They got the
they
Bucks
keep-
coming up soon. A couple weeks. They got
the Kings. The Kings are playing pretty good ball, and as like a Padres fan, I can kind of sympathize with them because it's been a really long time since the Kings made the playoffs. I think they have the longest drought actively in the NBA,
It's
if
just
I'm not
hard to bet
mistaken.
against LeBron, man. He's bad.
Dude,
He's
LeBron.
healthy.
Yeah, LeBron is kind of. I mean, I feel bad for the man because he's literally carrying that team on his back. He deserves better, in my opinion. But
well, it'll be fun to watch the last half of that season.
Yeah.
NHL, the trade deadline's coming up next week, the 25th. So I'll touch on that more next episode. But I also wanted to bring up you guys.
That seems so early to have a trade deadline. Didn't the season recently just start?
No, they're on their back half of the season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, their
Hockey
all-star
goes fast.
their all-star break was
I thought they have
last
long.
week.
Well,
week.
their postseason's insanely long,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, they play a best of 7 series,
And they play more teams are in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's like top 8 or something like that, with like a 4-team little playoff beforehand. So yeah, it goes
It's
pretty
like
long.
NBA playoffs.
Yeah. Then I wanted to bring up too you guys' fake favorite hockey team, the Ducks. They were on a
Fake.
yeah. They were
Quack.
on an 8-game losing
quack,
streak.
Mr. Ducksworth.
They were on an 8-game losing streak. They got outscored like 32-3 or something like that, and then they fired their head coach. So you guys' team sucks.
Gordon Bombay.
Hey, don't
Coming out of
hate.
retirement.
Just
You
sit.
guys' team sucks.
Hey, just appreciate the team.
Whatever.
This was the year I was supposed to really follow them too, because they got their new unis.
It was I felt so bad. So there was a story about this couple that got married, and then their honeymoon was they followed the Ducks for a 4-game series,
God.
and they lost every single game. It was like 8-2, 6-0. Like they just got blown out. It was terrible. But yeah,
I mean, they kind of asked for it, but
yeah. Well, let's wrap it up. Brandon, you have our stat of the day this week.
yeah, I got our boy. All of us, we love this guy, Tony Gwynn. Got some good Tony stats. So this is the one that I was I was in awe over, because especially the way baseball is now with strikeouts and swing and misses just like off the charts right now. Tony Gwynn had more runs scored than swing and misses from the years of 1992 to 95. So he scored more runs than whiffed on pitches.
That's incredible.
That's really fucking
You're gonna have
crazy.
to tell my dad that stat when we
That's
go over there.
that stat
Dude.
is insane.
That's nuts.
Also, he was drafted by the Clippers and the Padres in the exact same day, which is another insane stat.
That's pretty cool.
And
But
then-
dude, that's could you imagine that man is later his back half of his years playing basketball?
God, the another one that I mean, I'm only supposed to have one, but this is another one I
Just keep giving them to us, dude. Anytime anybody talks about Tony Gwynn, I'm all ears.
So Tony Gwynn faced the, one of the best pitchers to ever play the game, Greg Maddux, 107 times. His
Okay.
batting average was 415
What?
and only struck out 4 times.
What?
He has more 4-hit games than multi-strikeout games in his career.
Dude,
Dude,
that's unbelievable.
especially in a year and like especially in modern age baseball, to hear these numbers
Or people strike
where
out
the strikeouts
more
are just
often.
insane. It just, to me, it's just,
That's
well,
dude,
not only that, I mean,
we literally witnessed
at any time in baseball, like multi-strikeout games are
regular.
very common, extremely common.
Well, here was another one that I saw that he has almost the same amount of strikeouts in his career as Aaron Judge does. And
Oh
he's
my
played,
gosh.
And he's played like 10 times the amount of games that Aaron Judge
That's
has.
incredible. Dude, that's incredible.
Like,
Dude, R.I.P. Tony, man. Just, that's a stud right there.
dude, Tony was probably the best contact hitter that we will have ever seen in our lifetime.
Dude, that's, yeah. Those are amazing stats. I love hearing Padres Tony stats. Everyone, we are the Three Amigos in a podcast. Next week, it'll probably just be Brandon and I, because Ryan will be
in Hawaii.
Right.
in Hawaii on his honeymoon. All right.
Man.
Well, Ryan, this is your last podcast before being married.
Yeah, this is your last chance as a single man.
The door
Well, I
is
guess you're
locked.
You're not
No, I'm just
technically
kidding.
single, but
Legally single.
Legally single. Oh, man. Well, everyone, thank you for listening. We will be back next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Later.